Welcome to Trading Lounge and the US stocks. Today on the 26th of May, we're going to cover Apple, Facebook and Amazon. So starting with Amazon here, we're looking at, wave 3 over here on the weekly chart, an A and a B and a C wave here for wave 4. And then we're looking for 5 waves up here for wave 1 and then pulling back for wave 2. Now the 2000 is a major trading level and the 1500 is a medium and the 2500 is a medium. The next major level would be at 3000 here, and we can break the distance between the medium and the major levels down into minor levels. Let's go into the daily chart and pick this up. So what we're looking at here is 5 waves to the upside in terms of 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 here for wave 1, and then we're looking for a pullback for wave 2. Now the 61.8% retracement level is down here. It's not that it has to pull this far down, it could do. We will just track the ABC correction. A wave 2 would normally have the A wave as 5 waves, the B wave as 3 and the C wave as 5 waves. So a 5-3-5 structure. The only little catch here is that in this wave 5 here, it's possible that this wave 5 here is actually just wave 1. So if I just move that up to here somewhere and put that up here, it's possible, this is what we need to look at today, is that all of this is just wave 1. We have an ABC to pull back for wave 2, 3, 4 and 5 here. So this is what we need to figure out today. We'll look at it today. We won't be able to figure out until we get a little bit more information, but that's what we'll be looking at. So let's move into the 4-hour chart here, and with the 4-hour chart I've counted up as 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 here, and looking up for 5 here. So let's just go in from here. Let's go into the tick chart where we've got a bit more detail in all of this. So just squash this back up. So let's just get a bit more data in here as well. So from the low here, we're looking at 1 and 2 here, and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 here for wave 3. Back for wave 4 here, and then 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 here for that move to the upside there. And we've just hit on this particular trend line through here, so we're going to find a little bit of support here. So what I was curious about is that all of this 5 waves here being just wave 1 here and back for wave 2 into this area through here. Now this wave 1 and wave 2, as I mentioned, from this wave 1 down to its wave 2 here, it would be a 5-3-5 structure. So that's what we'd be looking for in this space here for wave 2 here. So if we just go from 100 ticks down into 20 ticks here, I know it would look a little bit like this here. So we can have this as wave 5 top here, or we could have it as wave 1 here. So we just need to be a little bit mindful of both. So there's 5 waves in this little structure here, and then an A and a B and a C here for the B wave, and then we'll be looking for 5 waves down, pulling back down here a little bit further in this. It doesn't seem like it's finished just yet. It looks like it's just down for 1, ABC for 2 here, coming into the 3rd wave, 4th wave and 5th wave. So it would need to come down a little bit further. I must say that the group 1 here on the 2,400, then we've got 10, 20 and 30, 1, 2 and 3, they will slow the market down at this point. And also too, it's touching on that trend line there as well, so it could squeeze up from that particular point. So I suppose in the bigger picture, the way to look at this is that if this was going to be a bearish move down, then past this wave 2 here, well then we would need to see down at this point, we could look at this as wave 1 and 2 in here, and then we would need to see 3, 4 and 5 coming into the 61.8% mark down here roughly, and then we would see an ABC pattern back up like this. So then we can just look to short through, you know, through this way here or whatever. If we've got those 5 waves here, we can short the retracement back into that space here. But I don't have that just yet. I know that I've got 5 here. That means that after a correction, I'll get another 5 here, and that's it. So, you know, it's arrived at, we normally take profit at a major level and a medium level. And then we just wait for the market to present itself in terms of a trade setup. So we don't have that just yet. So that's where we are with Amazon. Let's move on to the next stock. So moving over to Apple here. And last time we spoke, we were looking at this the same as the S&P 500, and the last stock we looked at as wave 1 up until this point here, and then coming back for wave 2. So up for wave 1 and back for wave 2. That's still probable, but it counts better if we look at it at a slightly different way. If we look this wave 1 here, and we just continue to move up here in 5 waves. So let's just take a look at that. So in this instance here, we can look at this here as wave 1 here, wave 2 here, then 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 here, which would make the third wave to the upside. So this is a slightly different count than I had last week with this, so after a bit of consideration. So that's what we're looking at here for this. I'll just go into the 4-hour chart to pick this up a little bit further. So it looks a bit like this here with wave 1 and 2 here. It's just a better fit because of the strong third wave in here. So 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and going up into 5 here. And then wave 3, wave 4, and then moving up again for wave 5. So a slightly different count, but a better fit in this regard. So I'm just going to go from the 4-hour chart into the tick chart here. This is 20 ticks. I'll just see what I've done on, oh, this should be no, that's not quite right. Here, let me just have a look at 100 ticks. Okay, so the 100 ticks here, so this is the count. Here we're looking at wave 1 here, wave 2 here, then wave 1 here, wave 2 here, and then up for 3 here with 1, 2, bit hard to see, I know, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 here for wave 3, back for wave 4. And then in this section here, it's a little bit tricky to see, but what we'll do here, it's possible to have wave 4 here and wave 5 just top out here, but I've already got 5 waves in this little sequence here of 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 here. So I need to call this wave 1 and wave 2 here, going up for wave 3, 4 and 5 to finish off with 5 a little bit further up here. So Apple can climb higher in this regard. And I'll just go to the 20 tick here because I think I may have been doing some homework in this little area here. No, wrong move. No, I haven't done that. Still the old one, but that's okay. So we'll just come back here for a moment. So this is where we are here. So we can expect, and also to this with, get this a bit hard with the tick chart here, but 100 ticks. So this here counts as an ABC pattern here. It hasn't really pulled back to 61.8%, so that is possible. We'll just need to be a little bit mindful where that is and so on here. So we'll just pop that in here. Not that it has to pull back into this space. And like I said, I'm still getting, you know, it's only our second week in pulling these stocks apart. So it just takes me a little while to tune into these markets. It's, but I have to say they're a bit easier than some of the FX markets, but yeah, we've got a corrective wave here, so we can push up here. So if you're going to go long here, then you'd look to have support on the 320 there, and that will take you higher up into the 330 if you're day trading, that sort of thing. But I think that wave 2 is already in play here for this. Just double check. Does look like a B wave there, so we could get sucked in with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and can be a B wave here. So that would be the A wave here, then an A and a B and a C wave here. So that would give us 1 and 2 here, and 3 and 4 and 5 here. So this can fail. There's a little bit more to go in here. If we look at this as 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5. So it can fail at the 320 area, or just before it, probably. You know, when you're looking for the levels, we're in these levels here from 10 to 20, but we can still do the same thing again in terms of we're using the Fibonacci numbers as a price ratio, so we can go to the next degree smaller. So we can go, the Fibonacci numbers run 1, 2, 3, 5 and 8 here. Not that that's going to help us at all in this case. So yeah, just be mindful of that. That can actually just have another little swing down at this point. So if you were going to go long, make sure you do it with support on top of the 320 at that particular stage there. Right, let's have a look at the next stock. So the next stock we're looking at is Facebook, and this is what we were looking at last week here. Account basically like this anyway. So but I also kind of want to change this as well. I want to have a look at the situation where we have, this is wave 1 down here and wave 2 here, and building up in a slightly different way up through the top here. But I'll leave this here and we'll still track this for the time being. But let's move into, say, the 4-hour chart. So yeah, so the 4-hour chart here is a bit like some of the other stocks we've just been looking at. So it's a different way to count it, and it's kind of fitting in a way. So we'll just keep both counts on the table, but I kind of like this one too. So wave 1 here, this looks a little bit dodgy here, but when you pull it apart on tick chart, you got 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 here, and ABC for wave 2, and then wave 1 here, ABC for 2 here, and then we'll need to pull this apart a little bit further, but 1 and 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 for the third wave, fourth wave, and going up for the fifth wave here, and that will be the third wave, and then the fourth wave back, and then the fifth wave of the third and the fourth. So it's more of a climbing situation to the upside. So we could look at that kind of moving quite a long way up here, really take it up into the 300 here. And this is kind of important too, you know, this count, because it could alter the NASDAQ and therefore the S&P 500 as well, in the way that we've been looking at that. So we need to take that on board as well. So that will resolve itself in due course. So from here, let's just go straight to the tick chart here, and let's bring in a little bit more data here for this. Let's just pick it up from the low here. So 1 and 2, I won't go through all of this, but as long as you get 1 and 2 here, so then we'll be looking for, we'll put wave 3 and 4 over here and 5 up here at the 300 mark. So we'll just pull this apart. So from wave 2 here, we're looking for 5 waves between intermediate wave 2 here and intermediate wave 3. So that will be the minor waves here of 1 and 2 in orange and 3 in orange. Just got to rearrange this a little bit here. Something like this. Anyway, these ones don't matter too much up here. This level here, this is a major level here. The 250 is a medium level here, and then the 300 is a major level here as well. So between 200 and 250 here, we've got 1, 2, and 3 that make up group 1. So it's 1, 2, 3, 5 here, and then we can look at 8 up here as another minor level, and then major level up here. Coming back here from wave 2 to wave 3 here, we're looking for 5 waves in orange here of minor degree, 1 and 2 here, and 3 and 4 and 5 here. So between 2 here and 3 here, we're looking for 5 waves as well, if I can expand this open here. Wave 1 here, wave 2 here in blue, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 here for wave 3 here in this case. And wave 4 here. I know it would probably be easier on a 4-hour chart or something like that, but I really need to see the details, so that's why I'm doing it this way. I need to understand these stocks. So yeah, because I have to account for every wave. So wave 1, 2, 3, 4, and we're going up for wave from blue wave 4, we're going up to blue wave 5 up here. And of course, in that space from wave 4 here to wave 5, we're also going to need 5 waves. So the green ones here of 1 and 2 here, and it looks a bit sort of tricky here in this case, but let's just, I mean, the way I work through it is pretty much like this. I need to see, you know, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I need to see that an A and a B and a C wave for wave 2 here, then wave 1 and 2. So I need to count all these little waves in here. That just, it just gives me a little bit more confidence when I'm chatting away. So we've got green wave 1 and 2 here, then 1 and 2. We've got 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 for the third wave up here. Wave 4 here, and then we're looking up for wave 5 here. So that should continue to push up a little bit higher. Let me just checking this one out here on the hop. So does look like a bit of an impulse wave down here, 1 and 2 here, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 here for third wave, fourth wave, and fifth wave. So we just need to be a little bit careful. We could actually get another move down here for a wave 4 over here first before moving up, but it is good that we're above. So we've got 10, 20, and 30 here, and then we can look at group 1 again here on a smaller degree. So we can go 1, 2, and 3 here for this. So normally when we get that, we'll have to just get in there a bit closer. So that's sitting on 3, which is good, and then 5 is the next one, and then 8. So 1, 2, 3, 5, and 8. Those levels will be important here if you're getting that close to the market, and that will be 5 in here. So if I was going long here, I would want that 2, 3, 5 here, because I know 5 is the second strongest number in the market. I would want that as the support. I can see that this is corrective here, so we will be going up, so we don't need to worry about that. So I don't know, this is the things you just got to get used to, you know. So I'd have to look at this as this is the A wave to here in 3 waves, and then the B wave in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So it's just a matter of getting used to the behavior of a particular market. I mean, they're all different, you know, all the same like human beings, but all different. We're all different as well. We're all uniquely special, as they say. Okay. Yeah, so look, I won't ramble on too much, but it's just going to work itself higher, and we'll be looking at around the 250 if you're taking profit. Do you know what I mean? That top of group 1 here, we won't need these here. Just get rid of these. Try and keep it as clean as possible. So we want the market to stay above the 230 here, and our target is the 250 here for that. Alrighty. Well, thanks for tuning in again, and thanks for the support with these with this new addition to TradingLounge, the US stocks. So this is our second week, so slowly tuning into it. I don't have hours and hours to spend on these sorts of things, so I only can learn as I'm actually, you know, doing the charts, you know, as I'm sort of presenting them. So but that's life. Alrighty, cheers.